That wasn't as intended. So you may notice that it's currently not raining, and I am not sad. And that's because I'm actually in Spain right now. I've been here for like the past 5 weeks. We had a villa, had a bunch of friends, people who are also coaches. We're all hanging out, exchanging ideas, training, filming some new stuff for the project. Molly even got to come for the ride. Today I'm in Barcelona. I'm going to be training with a couple of friends later on today, so I'll take you to that and share kind of some more stuff around training. But first, let's grab breakfast. So quickly whipping up basically food for the day, to be honest with you, because I'm out for the rest of it. So surf and turf sort of style of breakfast. We've got some cheap steak and frozen prawns, olives, and then the oranges here are just amazing. Like literally the tastiest things I've ever had in my life. So I've been eating a lot of oranges. And then I prepped for later on this afternoon, a couple of burgers, just with some cheese on. Burgers are a pretty reasonable cost, protein source, and then we've got some yogurt with fruit, honey, nuts, some dark chocolate. That's like basically post-workout after training later on today for lunch. You may notice that this isn't quite what I said in the last video. I have actually been sticking to the overnight oats sort of thing. Macronutrient-wise, taste-wise, ticks only boxes. The only problem is that after including it into my diet, I kind of developed this spot rash on my back, and I'm not sure if it was a reaction to the whey protein or including oats or whatever it is. So I've kind of just cut it out, and I'll reintroduce each of the ingredients back in to figure out which might be problematic. I did say that the intention this year was to drop some weight, not necessarily gain it. I am currently 1.5 kilos heavier than I was at the start, but I think it's probably got something to do with the fact that I've been taking creatine. I actually haven't taken it for like 5 years, but the evidence for it is pretty overwhelming. So I've been taking like 5 to 10 grams a day, among many things, including like massively improving cognitive function of grannies. So yeah, creatine, 10 out of 10.
Control here. I'm gonna try one arm and then.
Yes, okay, so since 1st of January, I've been doing a 3-second longer handstand every day, and I'm going to do that until I can't do it anymore. Today is day 50, and that means 2.5 minute handstand.
So, Harry, Ulrik, and myself, I'm gonna see if I can get vaguely close.
Man, I haven't done 2.5 minutes in probably years.
What I admire about both of you is that to get to the level of hand balancing you have to have a lot of training discipline. Since this year started, is there something that you've applied to your training? What's one thing that you would share?
I started to bench press. Yeah, I started in December, and yeah, I simply been doing strength more frequently than earlier.
Nice.
Just for no particular reason, except for I really enjoy it.
Do you know what I noticed actually with our training session yesterday is that both of you were getting a good pump on, and a lot of more advanced people that I've spoken to have gone back to the pump.
Yeah, a set of strength training gives more impact to your body than a set of hand balancing.
Sure.
So meaning that if you don't enjoy your hand balancing, it's a very little time efficient way to train. When strength training, you can do a couple sets and you will get physical value out of it.
Sure.
And for me, the simplicity of just banging out some heavy sets, it always makes me feel good.
And to answer your question, I think more specifically, just in the same ilk, maybe it is a thing where like once you've spent a certain amount of time doing something, you come back to, do you know what, actually I just really want to enjoy and be able to engage and feel good and be creative without necessarily saying, okay, this is my target sets, reps. If I don't get that today, then the training hasn't gone well. And instead just say, I'm going to turn up and going to just enjoy it, and what happens will happen.
I mean,
Screw that. I want to get strong. I want to get better.
I think
That was adorable, mate, but fuck it. I have progressive overload goals here. I want to get strong.
Speaking of training, things have been moving along and ticking quite nicely in the right direction. You can find my current training, as always, throughout this entire year. I'm going to leave it in the blog post in the description down below. So squat wise, I actually tested my comfortable 1 rep max just to kind of see where things are at and understand how much work is required. I managed to hit 120 kilos, which I'm reasonably fine with. I would say that around 130 is probably my absolute maximum, with 140 being the best I've ever done in the past. So a long way to go. I also did max reps with 100 kilos. I think it's, again, another nice benchmark to come back to and compare. I only managed 5 reps. And again, in the past, I've been able to do sort of 8 or 9, and I'm aiming to kind of be able to rep 10 plus reps. I'm kind of beginning just a step loading process now. I'm going to add 1 to 2.5% of weight each week on sets, and then just see how far up I can work on that ladder and then where that ceiling is going to lie. Otherwise, just working on the weak points, which for me are lower back and quads. So standing good mornings, I think an incredible exercise. You can flexibility bias it, or in this instance, you can do it for strength reasons. And then also just some more machine-based exercises to isolate the quads and take things to failure, but in a way that's a little bit more safe than just having a barbell or weights on your back. Kind of like Harry and Ulrik mentioned in this video, it's been really nice to do something that's just enjoyable and fun, and doing some hard sets that's not too complicated, just getting in the gym and focusing on moving some weight. It's been a really refreshing sort of take on training. You notice that throughout all of my training, I'm using my shoe of choice, which is by Vivo Barefoot. I've used these guys for the past 8+ years now through all of my training and just day to day. One thing I've noticed with this lower body training is it's really important to feel where I have that pressure in the foot. Having that connection to the ground with my foot rather than a wedge between definitely helps to improve my training. If you want to grab yourself a pair, then you can use this code and you can save yourself a nice tidy amount on a new pair of shoes and help to support the channel. Otherwise, let's get back to upper body. Things have been a bit more boring and basic, but that's simply because I understand how much conditioning is required to do the advanced bodyweight movements, and I just want my shoulders to feel really solid. Something that I've been including, which I think is highly underrated, is straight arm scapular conditioning. So I've been doing here for pulling single arm scapular pull-ups. So this one really helps you focus on that internal tension, being able to rotate it and lock it into the shoulder itself. And then pushing in the opposite direction, we have the tuck handstand, again, just trying to stabilize the shoulder in that overhead position. Essentially, if we can create better active stability in bodyweight training, where we have movements where our shoulders are free to move, it helps us just to be able to produce more force. Other than that, just trying to be consistent, a little bit of muscle mass focus, a little bit of arms, and just trying not to rush the process.
We are back. I stopped off to do some filming, so I'm just offloading stuff. I got some food cooking, some chicken thighs in there, just boiling away with some tomatoes, peppers, onions, literally super simple. And of course the obligatory travel red light bulbs. But yeah, basically it's been a pretty busy day, and I'm heading back at the moment to the UK, so I'm traveling for the next couple of days. I do read every single comment, so please let me know in the comments down below, like, your thoughts, any opinions, any questions, and yeah, I'll try to use them to feedback in the next episode. I'll catch you next time. Have a strong week.